from Los Angeles, train number 99, the Daylight.
Hey guys, welcome back. On this week's episode of Now Arriving, I got something even more special. I know I say this every week, but I do mean it this time. So, instead of having one package to open, I actually got two. So, one of these boxes contains a bunch of rolling stock, and the other contains a new engine, and this is an engine I've been talking about for a while. The thumbnail probably gave it away by now, but I can't wait to open it with you guys. It's been a hell of a journey to get to where we are right now. So I'll tell you how long of a wait I've had to have and all the hoops I had to jump through to get this engine. So I hope you're as excited as I am. So let's get started. Alright guys, let's just dive straight into it. So, we've got two boxes here today, and these are both from the Ken Kelly auction. This was an auction that was held at Route 32 Auctions, and this time around I bought an engine and a bunch of train cars. And this was a bit of a risky move for me. I am a big eBay guy, and this was the first time I ever bought from an auction house, so I wasn't exactly sure how that would go. This is the first one I bought from. The second one I bought from was the previous video you guys saw, which was the 844 and those cars. Now that one went smoothly. I got everything that I ordered within the next week or two, which was pretty fast. However, I had to wait almost a month and a bit for this, and as this goes on, I'll explain why it took so long. However, before I get into it, let's see what's inside the box. So taking a look inside the box here, we can see a Chicago Northwestern stock car peeking through the bubble wrap. So that shows that we got a bunch of awesome cars in this sea of packing peanuts. So let's start pulling them out and see what's in there. As we do that, I want to start with talking about the auction house. So this one was a little bit of a risky one. The items that were featured, pictures were taken well, but they weren't very detailed, so it was a little bit of a shot in the dark. And also, the lots that I bought didn't really have very good descriptions, so I was really gambling here. So if you ever decide that you want to buy from an auction house, please, I cannot advise enough, go to one that specializes in trains. You may have to pay a little bit extra, but you're at least having a better chance of getting a guaranteed item that has been safely cared for and advertised correctly. But enough of that, let's get straight into this and see what was inside the box. Jeez Louise, guys, this is already becoming a big mountain of train cars, but if you can believe it or not, we still got another box to get through, so let's open up that second box, because I'm pretty sure that's one the engine's in, so let's get into it. Now, as you can probably tell from the thumbnail, the engine in this box is a Lionel TMCC GS-2, and the reason why I bought this engine is for mostly nostalgic reasons. I grew up with a Rail King GS-2, as you've seen in my previous episode of Now Arriving, and I thought, since I'm trying to get into the world of scale, and since it was always a dream of mine, it was about time that my GS2 was retired and got to live out a happy retirement after busting its butt for 20 years. So I thought I'd get a scale one to take its place and give the other one a bit of a break. So what better way than to snag one off of this auction site for a really good price. So now we got the box open, let's see what it looks like inside. So it doesn't look like we have much besides packing peanuts, so let's just take the trains out of the box and see what we have here. While we open this box, I want to get into the next headache of this whole story, which was the topic of shipping. So instead of shipping it with your normal courier service, it had to be shipped to a third-party shipping company, and I had to be very involved, to say the least. I had to call them every week for 3 weeks straight, at least twice a week, to ask about the status of the shipping, when could I expect it, how it was going, X, Y, and Z, and by the time I even got a shipping estimate, I couldn't pay directly. I had to be sent a separate document to ask for payment details, and it was just a whole nightmare. And it took about a month in its own to get the item to me. To say the least, I wasn't very happy about it, but thankfully the customer service representatives were actually really nice, and the people who ran the company did get in contact with me directly, so I did get my items safe and sound for the most part. But anyways, let's get everything set up and see what we got. Wow, this is all adding up to be a really impressive pile of trains. It's like Christmas morning, but like times 10. So I'll save you the hassle of having to sit here and watch me unwrap every single item here, because there's about like 20 trains here. So we'll get to the thing you all came here for, which is the Lionel GS-2. So let's start unwrapping this thing. Now, I'd like to address the elephant in the room here. Most of these items do not have the original boxes, which runs the risk of when these things get shipped, sometimes things will get damaged. And unfortunately, as you'll see in a couple of seconds here, my GS2 didn't come completely unscathed. You'll see on the front pilot, it has separately applied silver ribbons to do the front detail, and unfortunately, one of them got bent during shipping, as you can see. Now, it's not that bad. I could bend it back into place, but also the front coupler cut bar got popped out. And yeah, it looks really nasty, but trust me, I got really lucky in this scenario, and I could just pop them back in. So everything's fine, and we'll be able to see if the engine works fine or not. So aesthetically, the engine's in good condition aside from that. The tender, fortunately enough, was better off. It's actually mint, there were no issues with it. But this is something I wanted to convey for those of you who are thinking about getting into buying stuff on auction sites like this. Get a box for engines if you can. Rolling stock usually can be a little bit less cautious, but for engines like these ones, you really want to make sure these are packaged well so you don't have any issues of cosmetic details being completely snapped off that you can't fix in the end. So let's take a really quick look at the cars that came with the lot. Alright guys, as you can see, we got a lot of trains to get through, so let's get started. So first off, we've got 3 Atlas Chicago Northwestern stock cars. Now these are really cool. They're actually all plastic, but they're really nice, as well as this Baltimore and Ohio stock car, which I really love the detail on. Up next, we have a Burlington Northern Santa Fe smoking caboose from Lionel, and a modern tank car, and a double-door Santa Fe box car, which is actually made by Pecos River, which I never heard about before this point. Next up, we've got 2 semi-scale K-Line Santa Fe boxcars and a MPC caboose as well. They're not half bad, but not for me personally, so these will probably be moving on to another owner. But this car I really love. It's a K-Line Challenger boxcar. We're going to take a quick moment to take a look at the details here. The printing is immaculate, and I love the detail of the Challenger on the outline. It's just so cool. And lastly, we have 2 post-war items, or technically post-war. We have a Manhattan coach car and a reproduction post-war caboose, which is the only item, ironically, to come in a box. But yeah, if you can believe it, that's not all the cars I have. The shipping company actually messed up a little bit, and I have more cars on the way, so let's open up that box and see what's in there. Now I bet you guys are bored just watching me take stuff out of boxes, so let's run these missing cars behind my Challenger. First, we have a Santa Fe Reefer by K-Line, followed by 2 more by MTH. After that, we have a very special Chicago Northwestern stock car, and we'll get to that in just a minute, followed by 2 Denver and Rio Grande Western black stock cars. But let's stop real quick and take a look-see at that Chicago Northwestern stock car. Now, looks can be deceiving. Originally, I thought I was just buying some average 027 stock car, but when I picked it up, it had a lot of heft to it. So, sliding the door aside, I found a full QSI soundboard in there. So, without further ado, let's turn it on and see what the car has to say. Man, what an awesome find, and it's such a cool comparison to all the new Vision Line stock cars we've been seeing recently. But enough about cow sounds, you came here for an engine, so let's get to it. As you can see, this engine is beautiful, and in the sunlight, it's absolutely stunning. I did fix the front details. Like I said, it was simple to just pop the coupler cut bar back into place, and the silver stripe, as you can see, bent back into place as well. There's something just elegant and classic about a single headlight GS2. I just love the black, red, and orange paint scheme of the daylight, and it really stands out when compared to other trains. But enough talking, let's fire this thing up and run around the layout. An engine as stunning as this deserves to have some beautiful cars to go along with it, and today we have 7 beautiful daylight passenger cars made by K-Line. So without any further ado, let's wait for the clear signal and head down the main line.
This is 4410, position here waiting for your light, sir. Over.
Southern Pacific, 4410. You are cleared outbound. Take the green. Over.
Roger that. Just about all button up here. I'll be rolling in a second, sir. Over. This is 4410. We're away at this time. Over.
Roger that. Over and out.
at inbound 4410. Over done. This is 4410 again. We're at the station at this time. Welcome back. Thanks for your help today. It's quitting time. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Like I said with the 844, owning this engine is like a childhood dream come true, and I'm so excited to finally have it as part of my collection. I hope you guys really enjoyed going through this whole crazy story for the auction lot and how we got to this point with this engine. And for those of you who are considering buying stuff from an auction house, do keep this in mind, and hopefully you'll have better luck than I did. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like down below and consider subscribing to the channel. We've got plenty of more awesome train content coming down the line. Make sure your bell icon is turned on, and please leave a comment down below. I promise I read every single one. To see what I'm up to on a daily basis, follow me on Instagram at Audamus_trains. A link will be down below in the description. And once again, thank you so much for watching my videos. Stay safe out there, guys, and I'll see you next time.